talking, don't you know, and there's nothing but love pouring through your computerized radio. Ooh, and you're starting to realize it's a multi-dimensional internet we're tuned into, don't you know. It ain't just one station, it's three, scattered throughout three different realities, don't you say? Well, there's a few more to go too, you know, but I don't want to confuse you and baffle you too much, man. Oh, I'm not baffling you at all, am I? Let alone confusing you. In fact, we're helping you straighten it out. You know, all them little gut feelings you had about, you know, that ain't the way it is. This is the way it's got to be. And babies, you know, now you're setting that kind of energy free. You know, because you've always known the truth, baby, and it's been bugging you all along that you couldn't live it, right? See? You get honest with yourself, you start to see that shit, man, and then you get over it, and you get on with it. That's the flow of Spring Creek. Magic medicine, babies, here day after day, Monday through Friday, on the ever clear and sweethearted and ever loving Hazy Radio Network, man. The most loyal little radio network you ever, you know, adopted for your little pet, okay? You know, and Grandpa likes to be scratched on the head and, rubbed on the belly. Ooh, and I need a back scratcher today. Anybody want to volunteer? Not too hard now, man, but just a little, de-itchifying back there. Just a few, little... Oh, yeah. Relieve that itching thing that don't ever want to go away. You know how it is, man. You got that one spot on your back that your little arms are never going to, and hands are never going to reach, and you go invest in a back scratcher, you break it the first time you use it. That itch is just going to be your itch until you get over it, baby. You know, what's that, the itch? That's the itch to get on with it, baby. And that's what old Grandpa's feeling here day after day as this flow of Spring Creek gets underway. I tell you, man, and I know you do too, man. That's why you tune in here day after day, man, because, life's kind of fun. And you just want to come out and play, and maybe Grandpa'll have a few stories, maybe a few thoughts for the day, something like that, Nothing like skinny dipping in the pool of love here at Spring Creek, man, Way up high in altitude where the sun can get to you really quick, and the magic waters. I mean, you dive into it and it feels cold at first, and then it's like strangely embracing, and it's like you're in a hot spring at 106 already, man. I'm telling you, it's like a transformation everywhere, but especially when you go skinny dipping with Grandpa here at Spring Creek. That's almost as good as waking up with Grandpa here day after day in a hazy radio sort of way, right? You got your computerized alarm clock set, right? So you tune me in automatically whether you're sleeping or you're awake or whatever, 'cause there just ain't nothing like waking up with Grandpa. Just ask anybody ever slept with me. They'll tell you, man. Well, we can exaggerate and we can elaborate too, man, It don't mean I'm any better than you or a better lover or anything like that. In fact, some people would say... Put that old man away. Well, we did already. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm out to pasture, It's safe to come out and play with Grandpa now, 'cause he's not a horny old goat anymore. He's not even El Stalliono anymore. He just says, okay, baby, I love your beautiful way, and I can appreciate it from afar, and I can appreciate a nice hug every now and then. What more do you need in this life than to be, able to be in communication heart to heart with one another, no matter who you might be or where you might be from or how crazy each of us might be in our own eccentric sort of way. There's a commonality here that goes beyond description. It's not common either, but it's an alleyway to life, man. I mean, it's like we recognize, it's recognition of your family, of the people you work with in the background anyway. I'd try and forget that again. Man, they ain't going to be burying our little reality inside of us anymore. Bullshit, man. Enough of this running around in the dark and trying to feel our way out of it. So that can be kind of fun, too. Oh, baby, we know what to do. We play strip poker in the dark. That's a little lark, see, and nobody can see and nobody can be and nobody can say, oh, you're better, and whatever, you know what I mean? All you can do is just, feel your way out of it, baby. Oh, see, the old man still has a few cosmic memories left to go. You know, come and help me live them right here at Spring Creek on the Hazy Radio Network, day after day, as we help get your day underway in a real sort of way. You're not going to work today, are you, man? Yeah, screw 'em, man. I mean, you know, you love the people there. You don't like the management, but then you're part of it, so I guess you hate yourself. So it's time, you know, to get that all straightened out, wouldn't you say? So you got to tune in to Grandpa for the rest of the day, at least for a couple more hours anyway, and we'll give you a good start. And then you can get out there in nature, go play, man, you know, take off that shark skin suit and and then the shark skin underneath it, man, and hold your hand over your heart for a little bit, see if you can get it started up again, okay, man, you know, melt some of that ice away, okay, yeah, maybe you got a few friends who want to go out and play. Why don't you call them up? Hey, it's Joe with the Mafia, don't you know? You want to go out and play naked in the cow pasture today, man? And we could dump in the creek and have a great old time. There's a tire swing there, man, you know, and there's a rope swing down into that deep pool there. I mean, anyway, yeah. You guys want to play? We'll take a picnic along, and no booze, by the way. Just a whole lot of Mary J, okay? Yeah, we'll just stay high, man. We don't need no alcohol. They can wait back there in the city for us, okay? Yeah, right on, baby. Yeah. How many of your friends are going to want to come out and play? I know you're feeling real cynical today, right? You think the old man's full of shit. He's just a comedian on the radio, man. What the hell does that old man know? Coyote, yeah, I bet, man. Shit, he ain't seen Coyote, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you know. Feeling yourself all superior to this inferior little shrimp of a man. I'm a shrimp of a man like my dog is a shrimp of a dog. Ain't quite full size yet, but inside, you know, we seem to be taking a little larger ride than what we display on the outside. I mean, dynamite comes in small packages, and all you got to do is put the cap on it and light the fuse, you know. But I ain't been capped yet, so I ain't about to go off just yet. But I'll tell you what, I went off a long time ago, you know. It's speaking personal, okay, but you know, it's universal. That's the way, man, you know. So anyway, I went off a long time ago. I remember the date. It's like it's right here, right now, August 22 of 94. Well, it might have been 24. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was 22. I've told you the story again and again, and I'll tell it again some other time too. But let's just say we unified some realms that day. I was a lost and wandering, meandering little lamb in the sheep pen of life, man, you know, and shit up to my eyeballs, but my wool was still clean, you know what I mean? You know, in other words, I'd been through it, but none of it stuck to me, man. I was a very blessed and fortunate man, just like I am right now. Human being, babies, you know. In moments like that, you come back to life. You start to see the power of love. You start to know there's something beyond this realm. Thank God. Because if this was all there was to it, man, you know, I don't think it'd be worth it, do you? Oh, okay, so you kind of like it. You're a little more guttural than I am, you know, okay? But I can be pretty crude, man. Oh, baby, it's just nice to be able to communicate in a different way, to realize we do it all the time anyway. But anyway, here we are today, realizing the unity of this flow, this spring creek that goes through us all, don't you know? The golden magic flow, glow of life, man. And from the glow comes the flow. You see, it's like we are dynamite in small packages, no matter how large or tall we might be. You know, it's still pretty tiny, baby, in comparison to the reality around us. Wouldn't even make a good molecule in the universe now, would we? You know, I mean, it's so vast you can't even hardly comprehend it, man. Life everywhere, too, I might add. Star Trek was only the beginning, man. Da-da-da-da. And Twilight Zone, too, man. The Outer Limits, well, it was kind of cheesy, but it was easy, and it was Hollywood, so it got to be a little sleazy, okay? I mean, you know, it's television, man. It's not real life, right? Man, that we're kind of blurring the lines between TV and reality sometimes, ain't we, babies? I'm telling you. Just like, sometimes I feel like we live in a mystical soap opera and that the whole dang universe is tuned in to every little life being lived here, and that they're applauding and oohing and awing and booing and rolling around on the floor when they think of Donald Trump, don't you know? They don't want to tune into that one anymore. He's our new poster boy. Him and Dick Cheney are probably second cousins, man. I'll bet you they are, or maybe even first cousins. I think they might be kissing cousins too, but we won't talk about that. We didn't talk about J. Edgar Hoover too much back in the day and his little pink tutu and his little gay sort of way. We never talked about that. Like, we won't talk about Donald Trump's strange little habits today, okay? We'll just let him be what he is and love him for it. And may we make a man out of this yahoo just yet, you know what I mean? A real man, a decent human being. How would that be? To take the most gluttonous and arrogant and rather stupid representation of the rich reality here and turn him into the softest, sweetest, kindest, most decent and elegant human being you ever saw? Knock off about 55 pounds right off the bat and give him a couple of inches where so he can feel good about himself and let his heart grow. All of a sudden there's a whole different person there, don't you know? What the dream I hold in my heart, and maybe you should hold it in yours, because that's what I wish for you too. And wishing for it is like not necessarily how we be. It's wishing for what I already see. Yeah, I know the magnificent side of every human being I ever encounter. I have to turn my meter off sometimes, or it'll just, bop me so hard I won't be able to even function anymore. I'll be overwhelmed with ecstatic glory and shit like that. In that state of total still awareness, knowing that one still silent moment where the whole symphony of life begins. That breath before the drum beat hits the first boom, and it's a kettle drum too, man. It's real deep, this one, man. That first boom is the beginning of the heartbeat of life. And this rock opera ain't never quit since they put that first stick down on that leathery old hide and made that old kettle drum go kaboom, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. It's still echoing throughout the reality, you feel it? That's Spring Creek right there, man. Where it begins, The breath just before the first drum stroke of life, man. When we all know what's coming as soul presences. And know we're going to go with the flow no matter how battered we might be in this 3D, this third density reality, Kind of a joke in a way, like I say, big old soap opera to which the whole dang universe tunes in. We are famous, all of us, The soul presences here are well known. From the most humble of human beings to the most spectacular exhibition of human life there could ever be. It's in everyone. And that's what makes us all the same presence, the same person, the same heart in motion, the same symphony of life. Right here at the beginning, man. I see that old drumstick coming down and that kettle drum ready to roll, man. You ever been up in a place where you could feel the heartbeat of the Mother Earth? I mean, you could hear it, too. It's quiet enough there. But feel it, It comes from the polarities. But see, it comes from both of them at the same time. So there is no polarity. Just that steady, rhythmic beat of a heart that is so pure, it could allow anything to go on here and still be okay with all of that. And baby, if she can put up with the kind of crap she has, this Mother Earth of ours, well, need I say anything further? Did you guys notice the other day there, quietly on Facebook, I put up this obscure little memo to the powers that were, over there in Roma, and I included Salt Lake City, and I says, well, it's time to surrender to the universal divine, man, and, fork it over, babies, We're going to make this little quiet little hermitage here in Crestonia, Colorado. It's a tiny little thing down here. We're going to make that into the new Vatican and the beginning of the new Republic of Life, right? No, ain't going to be no organization, no government. We're dismantling all of that. So they're going to hand over the cash, basically, or we're going to turn it all into cash because we're going to sell it off in parts and pieces to all of you. You know, to those, you know, anyway, and then we're going to equitize the reality by distributing the wealth. See, these two particular institutional places have acquired and accumulated all of the resonation of wealth of life in a monetary sort of way. So we want to get over it so people won't be so stupid and kill each other because somebody's got more money or a better looking old lady than you do or whatever, you know. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. See, the Beatles were right a long time ago, and they were awakening us to all what we already know. Love is the way, and love is the flow, and it's the only way to go. But we had to adopt for a little while a reptilian hide, you know, shark skin suit, whatever, you know, and be heartless for a while, you know, and cruel and mean and just, you know, to the nth degree. I've seen amazing cruelty in my life, you know, people turning on their own mothers, stuff like that. I mean, you know, just amazing cruelty. So have you, man. You know, and we always try to look the other way, but we know what's going on day after day. But the thing we don't do any more is react to it. We just be on our way. We ain't giving you the time of day, man. We ain't got time for any of that shit. See, we're living ecstatically already. It's a quiet thing, like that little moment before that first drumstick hits the drum, man. That little breath you take before you dive on in and the performance begins. See, that's right where we are here in this 3D all the time. That's where the flow begins, you know. Singularity of heart. That's where we're all together, all united, and haven't divided ourselves into separate little presences just yet. Though we experience a person, we do so collectively. You see, and that's what's returning here to this separateness of the 3D, is the unseparated nature of reality. The whole universe knows. It watches every little move you make. Can you live with it, baby? Can you love yourself for it the way all these others love you? Because despite no matter how wicked or cruel you've been, man, or how stupid either, or whatever, time to get over it and get on with it. Hold no judgments on yourself or anyone else. I mean, I'm sorry it was such a sad and sick reality for a while. You can't appreciate the warmth of heart until you've known its coldness. Nothing like bringing yourself around by, diving right into a cold, cold creek and experiencing the shock of it. And then knowing how long it's going to take to get over that shock. You're going to have to lay on that old rock there beside that creek for a long time there in the sunshine. I hope you don't get sunburned, baby. And if you do, I hope it just, browns you out, okay? Enough of this waffling around in this reality. Enough of going the wrong way because we feel like we have no choice, that we're hopeless, we're eternally condemned or whatever, so we might as well just do whatever we feel like. Grab what little pleasure we can. You see how empty all of that is? And how supremely silly, too? Because we're always overflowing with life, man. We're right there where we release all of the tension we held before, all of the stage fright. We just let go of that, man. We're ready to perform now. You see, and what does that mean? That means humans living in unity. A unity of heart, which, it's the replacements for governments and religions and any other sort of divisions and control things we've had going on here in this 3D to help us manage ourselves through it. And sure, they're all corrupted, I mean, look at the world around you. You're probably about the only decent and honest human being you know. Well, there's 3 or 4 others. It's pretty crazy out there in here, isn't it, see? But we're learning not to be reactive in the 3D, not to be that. So I told you weren't going to work today, and I don't think you ever will again. As if you go to work, it won't be working. It'll be fun. It'll be play. Like it is every day anyway, whether you recognize it or not, you know. You can surrender to the drudgery of it, or you can dance your way through it. You can learn to be the rock star that you are, to just accept it, to go with the rhythm and flow of life. If that means you got to live there in slavery just a wee bit longer because other lives depend on you, well, there you go, man. That's your answer. And there ain't no question. You just do what your heart says to do. You know, you go with the flow. You don't listen to anything else. And in fact, everything else is your heart speaking to you too. So you start to find unity even in the little voices inside that nobody can admit they have, but everybody rides with. I know what you're doing out there because I'm doing it in here. We're all human in this together, all of us, males and females. And when would you know there is not such a severe division between us as to make us so desperate as we have been, so lonely for love, etc.? Did you know we're really assembled of the same being? One's just made of the other's made of the other. I mean, it's one and the same. And you don't have to, feel empty about it anymore. You're whole and complete as you are, no matter your genderic expression or how warped your outward expression of it might be. It don't matter. Everybody's warped in this reality because they're, until it came to you, there wasn't any clear vision here, you see. Now you begin to feel the presence beyond the 3D. To know this is just a practice here, and that's the substance of it there, which is here too. Parallel worlds. The world beyond us that ain't beyond us at all. The very idea of separation. The biggest lie we ever lived. But kind of fun, man, and I'll tell you what, it's kept the universe entertained forever and a day. You wouldn't believe the royalties we're going to get off the rerun. We never have to work again, baby. All we got to do is party and play. Not so stupidly anymore because we do it in unity. We didn't even know what partying was, It's not getting drunk and crawling in the broom closet, etc. It's getting high on life and celebrating that life to the maximum extent possible. In a unified field of love that we call humanity and their existence upon this Mother Earth. Okay? In a unified sort of way. And it makes it so darned irresistible. All those that's been hiding out there in the shadows behind the clouds and so forth, they all come out to play. Just as naked as we are that day. You see what I mean? In other words, we let it all hang out. We don't hide anymore. We don't lie to ourselves about what our being and presence is. Lies are unacceptable when you're in love. That's the flow of Spring Creek coming from high above here. Yes, indeed. 9,000-foot altitude. Well, it's a good place to start, a good place to begin, eh? This is where we parked the spaceship, love, and all that goes with it, man. I'm telling you, there's a whole fleet up here just waiting for you to come and activate it, dear. But you can't come here, in any conventional sort of way. If we're going to activate it, we're going to activate it all the way. Ain't you glad you come out to party and play with, Grandpa Coyote and Obi-Wan Kenobi, who are the realistic representations of your old buddies Rocky and Bullwinkle back in the day, okay? Party, man, let's get it underway. Let it shine on you too, baby. This much I promise you. If you get out there and get outdoors and get over that feeling of blue and get out there and get some sunshine in you, well, your whole day is going to brighten up and you're going to begin to glow from the inside, don't you know? That same warmth you let in from the sun, well, babies, it lights up the shining one inside of you and the rest of the day. You'll never be blue, man. You can be glowing all day, and everything, all your troubles, all the heartaches and pains, just going to melt away in the glow of that light. And you're going to love yourself and appreciate yourself for the experience you've just been through. Let alone everything that it led up to or led up to it, don't you know? However it go in that flow of life here on the Hazy Radio Network, and there inside your heart and soul, it's Spring Creek, the flowing waters of original life, don't you know? Waking us up and setting us free. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is always the answer, don't you see? Oh, babe.